Hello, welcome to today's Clarity Reset. Today, we are going to talk about the public version. That is the version of you that exists when you are in front of people. There's another version of you that exists when nobody is watching. So, today, we're going to look at the gap between those two. We're going to get honest about it, we're going to get real about it. And we're not going to necessarily change it, but you know, we're gonna get into whether or not it's costing you something to like edit who you are, and have a different public version than you do private version, and whether that version of you that you're putting out there is actually saying what you mean. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is a grounding exercise to just bring us into the present moment so that we can really work on these prompts in the next 20 minutes. So, I invite you to get cozy in your chair, plant your feet firmly on the ground, close your eyes, or soften your gaze so that you're not focusing on anything in particular. And now I want you to focus in on your breath. Just notice it. Notice as it moves in and out of your body. Maybe you're breathing slowly, maybe normal, maybe a little faster than normal. Whatever it is, just notice it. You're not trying to change it, control it. You're just letting it be. We'll take a few breaths deep together. So, a deep, deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And now let your breathing return to normal. I want you to think about sharing your message, your business message, whatever message you're putting out there in the world. I want you to think about what that message is. Think about your elevator pitch, your offers, maybe the content, the way you talk about your work. Think about that version of what you put out there. And when I say that, or when you think about it, do you feel any sensations anywhere in your body? Do you feel something in your chest, a tightness maybe? Do you feel a tension somewhere in your neck, in your shoulders, in your back? Just notice, and maybe it's related and maybe it's not. Just notice what your body feels like. Notice if your breathing changes at all. Notice if your heart beats a little faster. And now I want you to think about who you are, the version of you that exists when no one is watching. Just think about it. Sometimes when this comes up, we think of the most negative things first, or we think of the hardest things first, or maybe the challenges first, or they pop up. It can feel discouraging. Sometimes we're a little too tough on ourselves. So just notice what happens when you think about who you are as a human being. Not what people think you are, but who you are. Be honest with it. And now I want you in your mind to think of the three values that you hold true. Three. Pick three words or values that are the most important to you. The things that no matter what, that's the real you. That's your real deal. That's the thing that matters the most. Pick three of those just in your mind. Think about those. Oftentimes, these are the best traits we have. It could be honesty, it could be consistency, it could be supporting other people, it could be volunteering your time to help, it could be, just staying true to who you are. It could be anything. Just think of the three things that are your favorite things about yourself. And notice how your body feels when you think of those. And now bring your attention back to your breath, the simplicity of the movement of air in and out of your body. Just think of that. Push the rest out. We'll take a few breaths together. So, a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And now I invite you to come back to the room, open your eyes, pull out your journal. And the first thing that I want you to do is start to brain dump. Whatever is in your head right now, I want you to write it down in your journal. Doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter if it makes any sense. In fact, the least amount of sense it makes, the better. Could be fragmented sentences, it could just be words. A word comes, write it down, and then the next one. And they don't have to make a complete thought. All you're doing is getting the ideas, the fragments, the thoughts that are moving around in your head, you're just getting those out of the way. So that when we get to the questions that you're going to answer in your journal, you're not sifting through all of that to get there. You don't have to move through that filter of the chaotic stuff. Just put it on paper now, get it out of the way, and keep going. Don't stop writing. The key of this is to just keep writing for this entire 2 minutes, and you only have a minute left. So keep going. You got about 20 seconds left. Keep writing. Whatever thoughts are popping up in your head, just write them down. Write them down on paper or whatever you're writing on. Okay. So, the first thing that I want for you to answer in your journal is this: where are you showing up differently in public than you do in private? Where are you showing up differently in public than you do in private? And be honest. This could be in the content that you're developing, it could be in your conversations you're having, your offers, the way you talk about work, the way you talk about yourself. But where is that gap? What are you softening? What are you omitting? What are you adjusting when you know people are watching or listening? And be real with yourself, even if it's something tiny. Could be something real big. It could be in little tiny ways. I'm going to give you a few minutes to work on this. And so just write down all the things you can think about and be specific about the ways that you show up differently in public than you do in private. Hey, we still have a little more than a minute and a half left. So, again, where are you showing up differently in public than you do in private? This could be in really minute ways, it could be in a big way, this could be in your content, this could be in the way you talk about yourself. But what are you like? What are you omitting? What are you leaving out? What are you adjusting? What are you softening a bit when you know people are watching? All right, start wrapping it up. Okay. The next thing that I want you to write, what is this editing actually costing you? What is this editing actually costing you? And this is not in theory. This is in practice. Are the wrong people finding you or the right people finding you? And maybe you're not finding any cost of this, although everything does have a cost. So I urge you to really look. But this could be, maybe the wrong people are finding you. Maybe the right people aren't recognizing themselves in what you're putting out there. Maybe you're exhausted from maintaining a version of yourself that's not really accurate. But get specific about the gap and what it's actually doing. What is that editing actually costing you? We have a little under 3 minutes left, so just keep going. Okay, so again, what is this editing actually costing you? And it could be that you're exhausted from maintaining it, keeping the face on. Maybe work is slow and maybe the right people aren't recognizing themselves in what you're putting out there. Is that to do with your editing? Is that to do with you softening your message or changing your message or being different or maybe not being on the up and up or even authentic? I mean, we all edit. Everybody does. And there's nothing wrong in editing. But we want to look at what it costs you and take a serious look at, you know, is this affecting your business in some kind of negative way? And start wrapping it up. We have just about 30 seconds left. All right. The next question. What would you say about your work if you were not managing how it landed? So this isn't really about like the pitch or your polished bio or the version that you've tested, right? This is like the thing you say to your mama, thing you say to someone you trust in private when to someone who you don't feel like you have to perform your competence or your likability or who you are. They already know you. They already know you super deeply. You're just sharing a version of what you do. It's like the truest version of what you do and why it matters. What is that? Again, what would you say about your work if you were not managing how it landed? This is the version you tell your closest people about your work. What is the truer version of what you do, and why does it matter? think we got a little more than a minute left. So just keep going. Be specific. What would you say about your work if you were not managing how it landed? Not the pitch, not the polished version, but the thing you say to someone you trust in private who already knows you, who already knows about your competence, who already knows who you are. It's the truer version of what matters and what you do. Okay. So finally, I want you to finish this sentence. The version of me that shows up in public would be more accurate if I blank. And write the whole thing. Write that whole beginning of that sentence, not just the answer, because something magical happens when you write the whole thing. The version of me that shows up in public would be more accurate if I blank. And just let it go wherever it needs to go. Don't edit it. Don't make a brave answer. Just let that sentence flow wherever it needs to. So I will I'll just share this while you're finishing up. Usually, the most magnetic version of you, the one that people are most drawn to, is not the polished one. It's not. It's usually the most real, the most accurate one, the most authentic one. In a world of we'll just start with AI. In a world of AI everywhere and fakeness everywhere, I'm not saying that AI is fake. It's not human by any stretch of the imagination, but it's replaced a lot of human functions. And in a world of that, and also a world of facades, people, really putting themselves on different types of pedestals maybe they don't belong in, or saying they are somebody who they aren't, or achieving something that they didn't actually achieve, or just straight up lying about things. We see so much of this right now. We see a lot of dishonesty, and it's hard to know what's even real anymore. And then add that AI to it, And so what I'm noticing, and I think a lot of people are noticing this, is that people are really looking for authenticity. People are looking for, even if it's messy, and even if it doesn't fit in line with what society deems like what we should be doing, um, people wanna see real. They wanna know that what they're spending their time watching, who they're spending their time with, what they're spending their time doing is something that is real, and you can feel it when it's not. You can feel it deep down. You get that like sales call where somebody's like, they tell you all about themselves, they tell you all about their offer, and you know that all the questions that they're asking are just leading to a weak spot so that they can get you somehow. They can sell you on the thing. I've had a recent sales call like that. And I was like, I know that every question you're asking me, the way that it's being asked is so that you can sell me something, you know? And even that is just frustrating. And it's a waste of time to me. Cause I'm like, if I want to buy your thing, I'm gonna buy your thing, not because you con me into it, right? Um, and so I am a huge fan of people just being who they are, being authentic, being real, being upfront, you know, and there's a lack of that in this world. And so, again, I'll just say again, the most magnetic version of you is probably not the most polished one. It's going to be the most accurate one. I hope that this exercise was a good one for you. I hope that you got something out of it. And please, if you did, please share in the comments how it went for you. You don't have to be specific. I understand if you don't want to share in public. Just just share that you got something out of it, you know? Anyway, I hope you have the best day ever, and I look forward to seeing you at the next one. Bye.